Some stories don't begin in chaos. They begin in light, in laughter, in genuine closeness. This is the story of Leïla, 26 years old, a gentle smile, a radiant energy, and that naive belief that love is what saves the world. She lived in the United States, in a bustling, modern city. She had a steady job, a small cozy apartment, and a man she loved more than anything, Michael. Michael. Smart, ambitious, reassuring. The kind of man who, in the middle of a storm, looks at you and says, "Don't worry, I'm here." They got engaged 3 months earlier. A simple setting. No crowd, no cameras, just the two of them. Silence, a ring, and this whispered phrase, "I want to grow old with you." Leïla said yes, heart pounding, eyes wet, convinced she was living the start of her fairy tale. But what Leïla didn't know is that not all stories are fairy tales, and sometimes poison. Where's the face of an angel? That poison was Naomi, her best friend, since childhood, since the first secrets shared under the covers, the whispered confidences, the teenage pacts, the endless giggles for no reason. Leïla loved her like a sister, and Naomi, on the surface, loved her back just as much. But Naomi had always lived in the shadows, slightly behind, a gaze that watched more than it sparkled, a heart quietly gnawed by an envy she never dared speak. Because ever since Michael came into Leïla's life, Naomi had changed, discreetly, but deeply. She saw in him what she had been looking for all those years, a stable, loyal, sincere man. And she thought to herself, why not me? So she waited, and more than anything, she planned. She knew Michael loved Leïla deeply, but she also knew that love can be sabotaged as long as the seeds are planted at the right time. She began to speak, to advise, to guide, all of it, ever so gently. You know, Michael is perfect, yes, but maybe too perfect? You should test him. Men who never doubt get lazy. A little distance now and then reignites the flame. Leïla, in all sincerity, took it as sisterly advice. She followed it, a little, then more often. She ignored Michael's calls, answered coldly, pretended to be busy. She even flirted with a coworker one night, just to see, to balance things out. And every time, she told Naomi, through texts, in detail, as you would confide in your soul sister. But Naomi didn't read those messages as a friend. She read them as a weapon. And that weapon, she turned toward Michael. Every message, every doubt, every misstep of Leïla's, she forwarded, one by one. At first, Michael didn't understand. Then he read. Then he understood. And it hurt. He began to doubt, to shut down. And Naomi was always there, always present, always comforting, always available when Leïla wasn't. And one morning, she woke up, alone, with the ring left on the table, and a note. I loved you, but I can't live in doubt. She screamed. She cried. She called Naomi, who came, with tissues, with soft words. He didn't deserve you. You're too good for him. You'll get through this. And that same evening, Naomi sent a message to Michael. If you ever need to talk, I'm here. And he replied. A few weeks later, Leïla, opening Naomi's laptop left at her place by mistake, found the messages. All of them. The betrayal. Raw. Ugly. Cold. The shock was so deep that Leïla didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just closed the laptop and walked out of the room. She changed her number, deleted Naomi, ignored all calls, refused any confrontation. She left, physically and mentally. As for Naomi, she thought she had one. She had slowly moved into Michael's life, not as a lover, but as a given. But what's given never lasts. Michael tried, at first, but something was missing, something you can't fake. Truth. One day, he told her, I used you to forget, but I haven't forgotten anything. And he left, for good. Naomi was left alone, without Leïla, without Michael, without a part to play. And then, the silence swallowed her whole. She tried to reconnect, with Leïla, with others. But the truth always finds a way. And this time, the darkness consumed her completely. Today, Naomi lives in another city. She avoids social media. She never talks about that time. Some say she regrets. Others say she simply got lost. But one thing is certain, She had it all and destroyed it all for nothing. Because one single piece of advice can be enough to destroy an entire life.